What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 42. And we start today's off on the back of a big 3-0 win against Bristol City. God, that felt sweet. We'll look at our fixtures for October. Barnsley away at Oakwell, the Terriers, Derby County, Preston at Deepdale, and then Watford, who were relegated from the Premier League last year, away at Vicarage Road as well. So some tough fixtures coming in this month here of October. And also look at our scouting update and our academy update as well. You know, this is why, and I often say it as well, this is why I don't specify a player tape when I'm scouting. Look, it's been 2 months. Maybe I should reserve judgment until we're a little bit further on into the mission. But I genuinely do feel as I'm going to train win from CDM to CB. I don't think this will matter because I mentioned before, I think the guys in the academy right now, just the 3 players, probably won't have enough potential to make it for the future of Club and Country. But this is why I don't like to specify a player tape. I genuinely do believe that if you're looking for any sort of player, you're more likely to get a better crop of players coming back. They're just in random positions. Anyway, yeah, first game of today's episode, Barnsley away out. Well, coming to this one here, Rabbi 10 goals for the season, right now leading the way in the race to the Golden Boot. Last year, of course, finished runner-up to another Welsh player, Harry Wilson, who's since moved on in the save, thank goodness. We're taking on Barnsley away. We took the lead 9 minutes in. This was a brilliant goal as well. Class camera angle as well for the second one here. You see the boys celebrating. Oh, that looks so cool, doesn't it? But Mark Bound, that's his second goal since coming in on a free transfer. Now, I keep on having this debate internally whether he really is Gareth Bale's region or not. There are a lot of comparisons between the two, but he's a right-footed player, not a left-footed player. I'm almost certain now he is indeed Bale's region, but there's just something about him that makes me think he's something different. He's just a little bit unique, you know? I don't think he wants the tag of being Bale's region either, but Bound regardless makes it 1-0. This is just one of those games where from start to finish I really did dominate. The fact I was only leading by 1 was down to some great saves here, as we were still only up by a single goal. Really at this point, 68 minutes in, should have been 2 or 3 and up. Humphreys missing that 1-on-1, and from the corner finds Lloyd Payne. Brilliant save once again by Collins and eventually cleared away. So final score, Barnsley 0, Newport County 1. However, back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets. And do you remember in the last episode I was talking about taking 100% responsibility, taking accountability, you know, putting the onus on you to be better than, you know, look for excuses, if you will. Well, all I'll say is I certainly felt as though I was a little bit more defensively solid in these 2 games here. And again, I think that's just the way to go. I really do. Look, FIFA this year, as we know, against the AI and Ultimate, is a much more difficult game. You know, I am the first to admit it, and you guys have seen it in my gameplay. This year, I have struggled mightily in many of my games in both of my current saves right now. But, you know, I really do feel as though instead of just saying it's too hard, I can't defend, I'm never going to be able to defend, doesn't matter what players I've got, doesn't matter goalkeeper I'm using, I just can't defend. It's all about looking for ways to improve. And I think the one thing that really helped in that game, as well as the Bristol City game, is I wasn't being as aggressive with my pressing. Like, high press definitely is the way to go. In modern football, as we know, one of the big reasons why Ralph was brought into Manchester United was because of his famous tactical knowledge and masterclass of the high press. You know, his system's been implemented before. I think I read that Klopp sort of studied from him as well. I might be wrong about that, but a high press nowadays in football is preferable. But in FIFA against the AI and Ultimate, you shouldn't be as aggressive bringing your defenders out. That's the one thing I think I've been struggling with quite a lot this year. I am a very impatient person, I'm the first to admit it, and it's all good shutting players down, looking to put the pressure on, but because the AI's pass accuracy is so high, sometimes you just got to learn when not to do that and just contain and ask the AI to break you down instead. So against Barnsley and Bristol City, I kind of took that method in, and instead of pressing as high up, when I'm in my own half, I should say, just kind of letting the AI come to me and trying to see if they could break me down. So following game, Terriers here, Rodney Parade, aiming for our 3rd straight victory, and we were leading in the first half through Rabbi 11th goal of the year. This one from Humphreys chalked off for offside, very tight, but indeed it was the right call. And then 70 minutes in, still leading by a goal. This is the one highlight I kind of wanted to sum up exactly what I mean about playing a pressing game against the AI on Ultimate. So Humphreys shuts his man down, we win it back, it's a quick counter attack, and Rabbi bags his brace as well. But you see how far up I was there. away from our penalty area. It's okay playing a press that high up, even in your own half, if you're so far away from your actual goal and your actual penalty area. But it's when you start dragging bodies out, when you're like on the edge of your penalty area, that's something I'm really guilty of in this year's FIFA. Being too rash, being too aggressive, you know, just being too impatient. I think that's the one thing I'm starting to learn because, well, after 3 straight wins and 3 straight clean sheets as well, I'd like to think that playing that more patient, contained style of defense helped. I mean, it certainly did in those 3 games there. 3 straight wins, 3 straight clean sheets, and as at the moment, we're putting pressure on the teams in the playoffs. So, following game, Derby County, the Rounds from Pride Park, coming to take us on our Rodney Parade, aiming for our 4th straight win, which I don't think we've ever done in the Championship. I don't think we did it last season. We haven't done it this year yet, but taking on the Rounds right now, finding our feet after a shaky start of just 2 wins in 6. Took lead early, Ruben Cole will form a Bluebird, 7 minutes, it makes it 1-0, but 15 minutes in, oh my god! I'm telling you, man, I always talk about it and I'll talk about it again. I know this is frustrating, and it's as frustrating for me as anyone else, but you've got to put the injury frequency and severity sliders up, guys. It's a lot more realistic, it's a lot more immersive, and it makes the game more challenging as well. Dylan Levitt goes down and the Manchester United loanee stays down. It looked bad and I already knew what type of injury it was going to be. So we're down to 10 men temporarily, but from the following highlight, a great chance to make it 2-0. Rabbi hits the woodwork and we still lead by 1. But despite the Levitt injury, I was still being the far more assertive team in the first half. And now going for that second goal, and as Colwell, the goal scorer, finds Rabbi Matondo. This dude right now is just on fire. Rabbi's running Rampant, 13th goal of the season for our number 11. I know. I talked about this at the start of the season. Why didn't I train him to CF last year? The amount of time I wasted. It's just ridiculous, man. Had I trained him to CF last year, he would be one by now. By now, he'd already be a CF. But instead, I had cold feet. For some reason, I didn't train him to CF or striker. Honestly, one of the biggest regrets of this series, I wasted so much time last season because, let's be honest here, second highest goal scorer last season, this year top scorer. There's another one for him, back-to-back braces in these 2 games, and that is goal number 14 for the season in 13 games. He's averaging over more than 1 a game at the moment. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm the first to admit it when I made a mistake. Why didn't I train him to centre forward last year? I'm such an idiot. The amount of time I wasted, man, it's just ludicrous. Anyway, he makes it 3-0 in a really composed game here. I was in complete control already. The Rams did get back into it in the second half though. Great save by Price there, kept it to 3-0. And then in stoppage time, still leading by 3. I desperately wanted my 4th straight clean sheet, but unfortunately, Stretton finds a little bit of room in the area, smacks one in from just inside, and makes it 3-1. Sorry, it wasn't Stratton, it was Hutchinson. Finds the back of the net, and it's 3-1. So clean sheet gone right at the death. And that was really frustrating too, because 4 straight clean sheets, I don't think I've done that all season long, and definitely not last season either, when we had the 2nd worst defensive record in the division. So it'd be nice to get another clean sheet and 4 straight there. Unfortunately went right at the end. Even so, there it is, confirmation of Dylan Levitt's injury. I knew what it was going to be, and this was hilarious, man. I was thinking, right, he's going to be out for the rest of the season. We're paying about 36 grand a week of his wage right now. Might as well send him back to Old Trafford. I can't afford the loan termination fee. Like, seriously. We spent all our money on Joe Rodden, Norrington Davis, Levitt coming back in on loan, and also Gareth Bale's regen as well. I can't afford to send Dylan Levitt back to Old Trafford. I mean, what does it cost, you know, on the train from South Wales to Manchester? Surely not that much, right? But Manchester United won't take him back unless we pay a termination fee, which I can't afford. So we're paying his weekly wage, but because it's a 7-month injury in ACL, this is October. I mean, he might come back for like the final 2 games, but the likelihood is he's done for the rest of the season. So that is really frustrating. It's a big blow as well, because as you would have seen on my team management screen there, Gareth Bale is done until around Christmas time. Levitt's done for the season. So between now and then, as the cameraman falls to the floor here, we haven't really got anyone to play that defensive midfield role. As we know, we like someone like Davis to sit back, so that means that Humphreys, as the free role guy, can go forward and do whatever he wants. But we're missing both of our starting holding mids in Davis and Levitt. So now I'm throwing in a 19-year-old free agent just in our first 11. So I've got no one else to play there. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't regret the signing of Joe Rodden because he's certainly improved our defence. But when I talked about the reason why I passed up on Ethan and Padu, and I said that Padu could be a holding mid in this team, well, now I'm starting to think if I had Ethan, I could push him up and play there and he'd be totally fine. So I'm not saying I regret the signing of Joe Rodden and choosing him over Mpadu, but that would have been a one advantage Ethan would have brought. Anyway, following game, it's Preston North End away at Deepdale, looking for what would be our 5th straight win. And heading into this game, obviously, without Levitt, without Davis, I was wondering how the youngster Ward would get on. Pretty well, to be fair. But it was the dynamic duo and the great combination that linked up for the only goal of the game once again. Gavin Humphreys right now leading the way in the race for the assist title. Rabbi Matondo leading the way in the race for the golden boot. Look at this. 15 in 14 for Rabbi. He's running rampant. He's red hot. He's on fire right now. And he's only got 7 more weeks to go until he becomes an official centre forward. He's up to 82 overall. Now, I don't know whether I'll train him to striker afterwards, because that will take him, again, like another 90 weeks. But definitely centre forward, that's almost complete now. And as you can see right now in the table as well, we are just outside the playoffs and heading to our final game of today's episode here. If we can make it 6 straight wins, our best run of form in the championship this season and last year as well, we will go into the top 6 for the first time this season. We know how tough it's going to be a playoff team. We've got the chance to be in there if we keep this winning run going and win this one away against Ranieri's Hornets away at Vicarage Road. So heading into the game right through the first whistle, I thought, do you know what? We've been defending really well lately. 4 clean sheets in our last 5 games, but let's go for goals early. Let's go in attack mode and let's get the first one, which we did. 4 minutes in, Ruben Colwell makes it 1-0. We take the very early lead at Vicarage Road, and I was starting to think, great camera angle, I was starting to think, okay, this is possible, you know. At the start of the season, when you only had 2 wins in 6, I was like, yeah, this season, I know the ball won automatic promotion, but we're not good enough. There are too many good teams in the championship. Playoffs would be the very best we could do. However, again, win this game, we'd be in the top 6 and keeping the pressure on the top 2 right now. And I've got to say, I was feeling confident. I was really going for it. Again, defensively, 63 minutes in, a couple of great highlights here. Brilliant blocks to keep the score at 1-0. And that's the area of concern for me last season. 2nd worst defensive record in division. This year, I've been so much better in the back line. And it's because I'm taking accountability for it and looking for ways to improve. But a few minutes later, as soon as I said that, I knew what was going to happen. Bit of an unfortunate goal, to be fair. Dominguez Quina, who right now is the 2nd highest scorer in the league, right behind Rabbi Matondo, has his first shot blocked, but the second one turned on a rebound. So our winning run ends after 5. However, it's no losses in our last 7, 8 games. Regardless, great run of form for Newport County. 15 games in, we certainly improved, particularly on defense, and we're only outside the playoffs on goal difference, and only 4 points off the league leaders, Norwich City, as well. Long way to go, don't get me wrong, only a third of the way through the season, but a great run of form, and now I'm starting to believe, maybe, just maybe, got to keep it going, but maybe we could get promotion this year. Don't jinx it though. But that will it today's episode of Common Country, guys. Massive thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please drop a like. Most of you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of C and C very soon.